Is Janet from another planet? 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 Is Janet from another planet?
Today's digital landscape with the spread of false information can lead to dangerous outcomes. It's crucial for everyone to think critically and verify sources and reflect on the impact of what they share. Let's promote responsible communication to ensure that truth prevails and actions remain rooted in reality.
The opinions you're about to hear on this show are strictly those of the panel.
The following program is rated TV MA LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Friday Night Shit Show. The shit sure seems to be getting better and better, at least from my point of view. But you remember, it's just my point of view. But I had someone special that sent me an email with a video, and they asked me to play it tonight. So I figured I'd open with it tonight. So I'm going to play this video, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So here we go.
Are those Iranians dancing to the YMCA?
Correct.
Why?
Oh, because the Ayatollah is dead.
Oh, cool. He was an old guy. What, heart disease?
Explosion.
Oh. Did he?
No. He's far too rich for that. He got exploded.
Whoa. Who was the guy that had the guts to do that?
Do you watch The Apprentice?
Of course. Who doesn't?
Okay, so that guy is the president now.
Oh. And that's a good thing?
Great thing. It's fantastic.
Okay, so what's with the YMCA?
Oh, that's his favorite song.
Got it. But that's not the YMCA dance.
Oh, yeah, because he made up his own dance.
The president made up his own dance?
Yes, and everybody knows it.
Including Iranians?
Yes.
Because the Iranian dictator is dead. Because of the guy from The Apprentice.
Correct.
Okay. Are those Iranians dancing to the YMCA?
I just thought that was really, really funny. Because you know what? I've seen videos of people crying and sad, what had happened to their leader. And then I've seen other ones in the streets cheering and applauding and thankful that certain person is no longer uh, in the position they were in. But everyone has to react the way they want. I mean, there's two sides to every coin, and some people, I guess, loved it. But what was interesting is that the women that I saw supposedly sad that he was murdered or killed or whatever weren't wearing hijabs. So I don't know if that's a legitimate video, because you'd think they would be head to toe covered in Iran. So I don't know. It was interesting though. So let me stop sharing that, and I'm going to share this next video because to me, I think it's important. It fills in the gap of who is now going to step in and take over. So just give me 1 second. I'm going to pull up this video. Where is it? Number 4. Sorry, I'm trying to find it because I brought it in at the last minute. I just don't know where it's at. How come I can't see it? I can see it up there. Just give me a second. I'm clicking on all of these, trying to understand why it's not there. Okay, I think I found it. Here we go. All right. His name is Riza Pahlavi or something like that. I can't pronounce it very good, but he is the crown prince that was exiled when the Ayatollah, I guess, kicked him out of his own country where he was a prince. So I'm going to play this for you. And here we go.
The Islamic Republic has launched missiles at the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, Oman, Jordan, Iraq, and Saudi Arabia. It is targeting our Arab neighbors. These violations of their sovereignty are unacceptable, and we condemn them. But this is nothing new. This is who the Islamic Republic has always been, and this is why it must end. For nearly 5 decades, this terrorist regime has sown chaos and bloodshed across our region. It propped up Assad, turning Syria into a graveyard. It planted Hezbollah as a state within a state in Lebanon. It armed the Houthis to destabilize the Arabian Peninsula. It empowered militias in Iraq to undermine Iraqi sovereignty. It attacked the economic hubs of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. None of this has ever been the desire of the Iranian people, but rather that of a regime occupying our country. Now, however, the landscape has fundamentally shifted. Assad is gone. Hezbollah has been decimated. The regime's military nuclear program has been set back. Its economy is in a free fall. The pillars of this regime's aggression are crumbling. The Iranian people have paid the price in blood to reach this moment. The regime massacred tens of thousands of my compatriots in just 2 days, but it didn't break the people. Instead, the regime itself is breaking. Today, history reminds us of our future potential. Before the revolution, Iran worked closely with Arab leaders, from King Faisal to Sheikh Zayed to King Hussein to President Sadat. In Oman, my father helped Sultan Qaboos defend his country against insurgency. We were true partners then. We will be true partners again. The Iranian people have called on me to lead the transition after the regime is gone. I have accepted that responsibility. Part of their great mandate to me is to return our nation and our foreign relations to normalcy. I will do exactly that. My commitment is to ensure the transition is orderly, the country is stabilized, and Iranians determine their future through the ballot box. We will not repeat the mistakes of past transitions. We will avoid de-Baathification scenarios and maintain as many bureaucrats and public servants in transition as possible. Iranians have made their choice at an enormous price. Now I ask our friends in the Arab world to join us, to prepare to recognize and engage our transitional government. We will rebuild our nation not for expansion, but to serve the Iranian people. We will base our diplomatic relations not on exportation of ideology, but on mutual respect and shared interest. We will reintegrate into the regional and global economy to increase prosperity for the citizens of all of our nations. Standing with the Iranian people is not charity. It is a strategic investment in making our region one of the most stable, secure, and prosperous in the world. Together, we can build a Middle East our children will be proud to inherit. Take this new path with us.
Well, I guess he decided that it was time for him to go back, because I don't see how he could possibly step in to for the transition and not be in his own country with his people, which is very scary, because they left because they knew if they didn't, the family, that they'd probably be murdered. So the fact that he's going to do this shows me he has a lot of bravery to risk going there for his country. And I hope his people are thinking about that and wanting to support him, because I think he deserves a chance to prove that he can help his people. And that's what he's been wanting to do for a long time, but he wasn't able to because there was too many of the people that would murder their family or him, and who knows how many others, for him trying to do what he was born to do as a prince. So I'm hoping they can work this out and get back on their feet, and the people will stand up and start fighting for their country to be free of that regime, I hope. And a few of them, if they've ever been able to leave their country and go see what they don't have somewhere else, that's the best thing, I think. That's why I think it's so important that kids get to travel some before they're adults, to find out what it is like to live in other countries, and what things they do like they could bring back and maybe have it in their own countries. That's why I think so many people are jealous of America, is the fact that we have so much. We have so many different cultures. You can travel from New York all the way down to the Gulf, to Texas, Florida, Georgia, all in there, and then travel through the deserts and through the mountains to California. And we have Oregon and Washington State, all the way up to Alaska. Totally different, every single state. The landscape is different. The people are different. The way we speak is different depending on where we live, because it's massive. We have a massive country with massive amounts of wonderful people, wonderful families, wonderful cultures from all over the world. It's a huge melting pot of people. And hopefully the steps that have been taken so far will help people realize that we don't want to come and take over your country. We just want you to stop coming here and trying to take away our freedoms. The reason America is so strong and so powerful and have so many wonderful things from New York all the way to California is because we do have freedom of speech, and we do have the freedom to own a firearm, period. And we have so many other freedoms, the freedom to buy our own homes, to have a car and drive wherever we want. We have the freedom to marry who we fall in love with. Nobody's forced to marry anyone in this country. We get to fall in love, date, those type of things, the way life is supposed to be. We can work at a job, we can buy a home, we can live in a condo, we can choose to live in a cabin up in the mountains. We can live in the city, we can live in a rural area, we can live by a lake or on the beach. We have so many choices because we made it that way. We fought to have this country. Our ancestors did. And we're fighting every day to keep our rights because we have so many people that are here that want to take our rights away, to take away my right to buy land and have chickens, to grow a garden, to collect my rainwater, to mow my yard, what trees I'm allowed to trim. Tons and tons of rules that to keep trying to put on us. And we're the only ones that can stop them. You have to do it in your state. Every one of our states has a constitution. And the way we win at the top when it comes to the federal government is by staying strong as states. People don't realize that. Your state is strong because of your constitution and the people that live within your state, keeping it strong. As we've seen in the state of Michigan, they're in shambles right now. Well, hello, you guys. Thank you for joining me. Hardwick, I did play your video. I'm sorry you missed it. I opened with it and it was very, very funny. Thank you for sending it to me. It was great, and I appreciate it. And I am thankful that I have wonderful subscribers, and a lot of them have become close friends of mine now. We spend a lot of time just talking and hanging out and getting to enjoy the freedoms that we have in this country. And I just love it. I love this country. I've been to many countries, and I was born in Canada myself because my dad was military. But the thing is I've gotten to go overseas. I've gotten to go to South America. And I'm lucky to have done that because I've gotten to see other countries and how they work. And I have relatives from other countries. And I listen to them about things that have happened there. And I try to pay attention to what's going on in other countries because whether we want to believe it or not, we are just as easily taken over from the inside out as these other countries have been. When you have corrupt people running your government for money or deals, or young girls, young boys, whatever it is, they're getting paid to be corrupt and to corrupt us, that can happen in any church, any business, any state, in any country. And the people that want to have a home, fall in love, raise a family, we don't want that. We want to be able to walk down the street, take our kids fishing, swimming, to the park, to school, and have them taught how to read and write so that when they grow up, they can get a job and buy their house and marry and have a family. The same thing that we just had. But we can't do that if our kids are told, well, they're in the wrong body. They need to cut themselves up if they want to be normal, which isn't true, which is a lie. It's a proven fact. And they'll never have kids. Because once you mutilate yourself, you're not able to have children. You've lost that because you let somebody, an adult, talk a kid into giving up something they didn't even understand that they had, because I don't know why, because they're sick. They're not the kid, the adults. The kids didn't have a chance to find out who they even were. So we are trying to fight and take back our country from people like that, to save our children that are trafficked for slave work, for sexual favors, for whatever it is these sickos are wanting our kids for, their adrenochrome, all those things. And the only way to do that is by us staying informed, sharing as much of the truth that we can get. And it doesn't matter which side they're on. It doesn't matter whether they say they're a Democrat or they're independent or they're a conservative or a Republican, whatever it is. If actions speak louder than words, which means you see them doing things that you know are wrong, yet you turn and look the other way, then you're no better than them. So we have to tell the truth. We have to demand the truth in return. They can't hold me accountable for something that I didn't do. And if I did do something and I'm held accountable, then why isn't that person being held accountable for doing the exact same thing? So we have to demand that. And the only way we're going to get it is by us fighting for it in our states. Because if we take our states back, guess what? We take back the United States. So I just want to say hi to everyone in the chat. Let me go up a little bit here. Well, hello. Thank you very much, Jackie. I really appreciate it. And I'll say hi to baby girl. You're very, very loyal. I love that you comment on so many of my posts and stuff. And your little dog looks so much like my dog, but she's a lot bigger than that one, but it's really cute. And I want to say hi to Low Spec. Thank you for stopping in. I really appreciate you. And I want to say thank you to Hardwick. I really do appreciate you too. And let's see what this post is. Wants to be the interim leader and has a 2-year plan ready. Awesome. I know I've seen a couple of interviews from him, and you know, he's been wanting to go back for a long time and help his people, but he knew he would be murdered. He couldn't go back. So I hope to God he's going to have a good team with him that's going to be able to protect them and actually listen to the people of their country and try to figure out the best roads to take to get them back to a stable economy, free of terrorists. I really hope they can do that. I really, really do. I'm going to pray for them. And hopefully something really good can come out of it. Let's see what this says. Also seems reluctant. Oh, really? Saying he prefers someone who's already in Iran right now. Oh, yeah. And I agree. I think the person that steps in needs to go there and be there with the people. That's why they're going to have a really good group of people around them they trust. And the only way to do that is to find out who. He says people are telling him to go there. Who is it? If they are, then the people who are asking him to come back need to swear an allegiance to him and keep him alive so he can at least put the plan out, get the groups together, and start sharing the information with the people. And the only way to do that is by being there. So I agree with Trump about him being there. When he did that, when I just played that speech, I assumed, that he was going to step in. It means go there and be hands-on, get things done. It's hard to believe that you'd think that your people would gather around you and support you if you're not even in the same country with them. I don't see how that would work. I just can't. I just can't see it because I just don't know how that would work. So I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see how this unfolds. But I really do. I really am going to be praying for the people because I really believe they deserve to have a country where everyone's treated equally, They all have the same opportunities, and when they work hard, they deserve to get paid for it and to keep their money, that kind of things, but I can't see it any different because I'm from America. I don't know what the rules are of their country or what their constitution or whatever it is that they have or used to have before someone came in and made themselves king or God or whatever you want to call it. And I hope they can work something out, because I just want the people to have, the right to have whatever it was they had before. I don't know for sure exactly what that is, but I'm sure it was way better than what happened once the Ayatollah went in and demanded certain things. But this was one thing I wanted to share at the beginning also, is the fact that the polls that came out, and I thought it was interesting. So I wanted to share this about these different presidents. So here we go.
If you look at the Real Clear Politics average of polls for presidents at this moment, at this day, and you look at that chart, President Trump is at 43.3%, President Obama at 42.5%, President Bush at 38.7%, March 5th. Mm-hmm. If you look at the Real Clear Politics average,
it's amazing. I mean, and to me, just like I said a few minutes ago, it's actions speak louder than words. People see something and see someone doing things, actually flying to where the fires were, flying to where the floods were at, every day in the Oval Office, meeting people, doing speeches, explaining things when he signs an executive order. I've never seen a president so open about what he's trying to do and how he wants to do it. And I think that's wonderful. I don't see how we're going to go back to, we went from that, and then we had COVID, and then we had, Weekend at Bernie's, basically, with someone you never saw. And when you did see him, it looked like he was a mannequin. I mean, he didn't even look like a real person. And it looked like he was in the basement of the White House giving his stuff. So to me, I don't know how we're supposed to go back to just having a person just sitting there like, oh, I don't know. I don't ever want to see that again. But I do want to see this president keep doing what he's doing and fulfilling what we asked for when we voted. Now we're getting some extra stuff that we didn't expect, but we knew the other things were going to happen because we live in a world with other countries. We don't own everything. We don't run everything, and things that other countries do can affect us. But this is something else that popped up after I was already pulling all the stuff out about what's going on with Iran, which I'm going to still do. But I wanted to throw this in because this was interesting. I have chickens myself, and they're healthy as can be. And when everyone's chickens weren't laying, well, not everyone, but a lot of people were saying their chickens didn't lay for months. Mine never stopped laying. Whenever I go to eat, like at the Waffle House or go have a salad and some soup or whatever, at a sandwich place, guess what? I bring back a little snack pack for my chickens with my leftovers, and they love it. They come running, and I feed them, and they just love it. And they give me eggs. I get eggs from them every day. And I love having chickens. But this kind of stuff that I'm about to share is scary to me. I just want you guys to listen to this. It started playing when I first clicked on it, but it's kind of spooky when you think about it. It says that they're actively preparing mass vaccination of poultry against H5N1 bird flu. The thing is, I don't trust them now. After this whole COVID fiasco, and now they're saying they're going to inject cows with COVID and pigs and everything. So you can't go to the store now and buy something because you don't even know what's in it now. You don't know what they're sprinkling in the skies with chemtrails. We don't know what they're doing. So any of this stuff bothers me. So just think about that. This is in the UK, this other one right down here that I'm showing you. talking about it, but I'm going to play this video for you. It's only a little over a minute long, but this is important because when you go to the grocery store, don't you want to know what the heck you're buying and eating and feeding to your family? So I think it's important that we all keep up on this kind of stuff.
What actually is happening is the USDA is preparing a potential plan to mass vaccinate poultry for H5N1 bird flu. And we thought, honestly, because RFK recently came out a few months ago and he said they're not going to do this.
And all three of my health agencies, NIH, CDC, and FDA, the acting heads of those agencies, have all recommended against the use of the bird flu vaccine for that particular genotype, because the vaccine could actually promote antigenic shift, which means you're turning those birds into mutant factories, and that could actually accelerate the jump to human beings.
But now this new USDA statement to Reuters indicates that they are indeed preparing this plan to mass vaccinate poultry. They're trying to sort things out with trade, right? Because other countries don't want vaccinated poultry. So it appears they're trying to quell those fears in an attempt to approve this. And this will be an absolute disaster to mass vaccinate poultry for bird flu during a bird flu animal pandemic will accelerate viral evolution, will lead to mutant strains, and drastically increase the risk of a human pandemic. This really should not be on the table. And if we do consume the vaccinated poultry, either with mRNA or with antigen-based vaccines, that food will likely still be toxic, right? We'll be consuming then the vaccine components if they don't degrade. So this whole thing should be stopped. We should learn our lessons back from China. They mass vaccinated poultry years ago, and it was a disaster.
Yeah, I don't want it to happen. It's not going to happen to my farm or my little, home. I'm not going to let them force me to give my chickens something, especially when they're not exposed to anybody's birds but my own. They're in my yard, and I feed them. I water them. I clean their water and food dishes myself. I'm not sick, and I just think it's ridiculous. But I'm pretty lucky because of the state that I live in. But you just never know. I just want people to understand that, to pay attention to what's going on around you and see what's going on in your state when it comes to this stuff. Know what your city is doing, know what your county is involved in. Start paying attention to it, because it may not be doing anything right this minute, but they're trying to push something. And we already saw what happened when we let them push us around, especially with this whole COVID thing. We still haven't gotten to the bottom of that yet. And now they're going to try to do something else. I don't think so. I ain't going to let them. But I just wanted to bring that up, because to me, that's important that you guys know about that, and that we get people to understand that, we have to know what we're eating. What are we consuming? And what are they putting in it? Because the people that are in charge, they can force the stuff like that, the vaccinated birds, to us. But what are they eating? Just like we found out after the COVID stuff came out and they were forced vaccinating our military, and a lot of people were told they're going to lose their job if they don't get the shot. And then we found out that the post office people didn't have to get it. And then you found out that most people in Congress didn't get it. So if they didn't have to get it, then why are they forcing other people to get it? And if they're going to force us to do the chickens, okay, these jabs on these chickens, are they going to eat the food? Okay, remember the movie? What was the name of that movie? Darn it. It was about, darn it, I wish I could remember. She was working for a lawyer, and they were suing some big factories for poisoning their water. And it was the actress that played Pretty Woman. She was in it. Something Brockovich. Okay, that movie. Remember, there's a scene in that movie where all these big wigs are sitting around this table, and she's already filled up glasses of water, and some of them are sipping on it, and they're all talking and stuff. And then she ends up telling them, well, this water's from that town. And every one of them put the cup down because they didn't want to drink it. Why is it okay to poison them or put stuff in that town's drinks or put something in that soil over there, but not where the people that are making that decision's town? See what I mean? And that's why we have to stand up and fight for our rights. They're not doing it. You got to think about it. And I've said this many times too. We have Congress. Okay. We have all these people that have the best health insurance ever. But if they were forced to have to be on the same doctor care and treatment as our veterans, do you think they'd make changes to make sure that the veterans are treated better? You see what I mean? That's what I'm saying. If we're paying their bills, our taxes pays for them to live in their nice houses and drive their cars and pay for their health insurance, their dental insurance, their eye care, whatever it is that they have. Yet they don't want us to spend our tax dollars to help our veterans get better care. See, I don't think that's fair. To me, they shouldn't get anything better than what we can get, period. And the only way to change that is by taking your states back. Start demanding that everyone across the board is treated the same way, or have the opportunity to have the same things, period. And especially if they live off our dimes. If you're going to work every day at the chicken plant or Firestone or Walmart or anywhere, whatever it is you're doing, and they take money out of your check and they pay these people, they should be doing what they told us they would be doing. Period. That's how I see it. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with demanding them do the job that we put them there in? You know, we put them there. We voted for them because they told us they were going to do something. And then what do? Nothing. They say, big fuck you. That's what they do. Guess what? Trump so far is doing everything he said he was going to do. And until he doesn't, I'm not going to bitch and moan about it, because he is trying to do it, and he can't do everything by an executive order. It's been over a year, and they haven't even, Congress hasn't even gotten all his judges in place for federal courts. How can we prosecute all these people in federal court when we have corrupt judges that Trump's been trying to get changed out? Obama got it done. Even the Republicans helped Obama, and then we just had this vote for the them to release the names of all the people from the slush fund for paying people off that are accusing certain people of sexual harassment. 360 something people voted to keep the names hidden, and 65 voted to release the names. So that sure tells me that we got 65 people that are working for us in the government off of our dime that actually give a shit about the truth. The rest are like, fuck you, America. We're going to take your money. We don't give a shit. That's what they're telling us, at least from everything their actions are telling me. I mean, you know what I mean? And that's exactly how I feel about it. I think it's my opinion, but it sure is as plain as this nose I have on my face to me. So we have to start standing up and fighting for what we have. And what we have is right in front of us. Look around when you open your front door, your town, your community, and your state that you have to live in every day. You can make changes there by voicing your opinion at city council meetings. Okay, things like that. You can make a difference. Getting online, researching what's going on, and go vote and try to get the person that did vote. Because we just had, we got Tom Cotton now. He's having to run against another woman because Tom Cotton said he was going to do certain things. And guess what? He didn't. He didn't follow through with a lot of things. Well, guess what? It should be, you should be held accountable for it. Okay. And now he's going to have to run against this woman to try to get the position that he wants to keep. Now, people are going to be bringing up things that he didn't do. But that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to vote people in, pay attention to what they said they were going to do, and then hold them to it. If they hired you to work at Walmart and to put certain things out on the shelf, but you only put half the product out, guess what? They lose money because the product's not on the shelf for the customer to buy, and they should hold you accountable for it if that was your job. And do you think you'd keep your job very long if you kept doing a half-assed job? No. So why should we keep these people when they're doing half the work they said they were going to do for us, right? At least that's how I look at it. So I don't know. Or maybe I'm not right, but I have the right to have my opinion and say what I think I believe that can help our country. And to me, truth is the most important thing. Facts. If a person does certain things and they break the law, then they should be held accountable for it, period. So, hi, Steve-O. Thank you for stopping in. I really appreciate you. Okay, so now let me bring up this next thing I thought was interesting. Now, remember, I might jump around a little bit, but most of the stuff that tonight is going to be with Iran, because that's where most of us are centered on. I think it's this one. Oh, hopefully, let me bring it up. Oh, yeah. Okay. After the bombing started, this shooting happened. And this gentleman had a shirt on that said "Property of Allah" on it when he did it. And many people have been saying, well, the border's been wide open. Who knows what these people brought over the border into our country? It could be a dirty bomb. It could be a lot of sleeper cells that are just waiting for the phone call or the pager to go off or whatever it is to do a certain thing. And I remember last year, I think it was in the spring of last year, I played a couple of things that Tucker was interviewing a few people about these little camps in South America of people that were training to come and invade our country and fight, a ground war here in America. And it was pretty interesting. The whole thing was a husband and wife team that were down there interviewing people and things. And the border was wide open, because I remember when Trump was president, I did a couple shows about what was going on at the border. And when a person would come with kids, they would do DNA tests on the people to see whether or not the kid really was related to the people that said they were their parents. And when they were not, they were taken away from them until they could find out who they were, because we were trying to cut down on the trafficking. And as soon as Biden was put into place, wherever it was, somewhere in the basement of the White House, they stopped doing that. They stopped doing the rapid DNA test because they didn't want to stop the trafficking. That's the only reason. The only reason that makes any sense to say that kid belongs to that person is through a DNA test, right? Without a DNA test, it's just what they say. Because most of them don't even have birth certificates or any shot records or anything. They're just coming over the border, and we're just supposed to believe them. Just like a person who walks up to the voting booth to vote and they can't prove who they are, but they say, "I'm Joe Jackson. Look at me, I'm Joe Jackson. I want my ballot." It doesn't matter if Joe Jackson, the real one, comes later on, then he's told, "Oh, sorry, we already gave your ballot away." It's ridiculous, because they're not asking for ID, which should be, it's common sense tells you that's how you prove who you are, and saying that certain people don't have ID because of where they live and stuff like that is ridiculous. I've been to some of the poorest places, and guess what? They have stores, and when they go to buy cigarettes, they still ask for their ID. Or if they're going into a strip bar, they still ask for their ID. So it's ridiculous that we have all these people that won't vote for the SAVE Act because for some reason they want illegals to be able to vote. I don't understand that. What does common sense tell me? Oh, cheating. That's the only reason why anyone would say, no, you don't have to have an ID. It's stupid. And anyone that tells you because of your skin color, you can't get a driver's license or an ID, they think you are nothing. They're trying to say that you are too stupid and too dumb or too poor or whatever it is to get an ID. So they're using that against you. They're proving their point to people like me that you can't get an ID because you're stupid. And I've played a couple of people that go on the street in different neighborhoods and stuff, in interviews, interviewing people walking down the street. And they made sure to stop people of different races, okay? Because they're trying to say that certain people of a certain race don't have ID and don't have access to it. And I haven't met a single person ever in any of my travels in the United States, from New Orleans to ghettos in Georgia, in Alabama, in Boston. I've been to Washington State, and I've been to a lot of places where people live in trailers, and some people live in apartments with 5 families. I've been to some of them, and guess what? Every single one of them had some form of ID, library card, something. So I don't see how they got gotten away with saying because of your skin tone or where you live, you don't have access to get an ID. It's just ridiculous. They're trying to put you down by saying you're too stupid to do it, and you need us to protect you so that you don't lose your right to vote. It's ridiculous. So this right here, though, they're trying to say that it's Bush, Obama, and the Clintons funded the Islamic invasion of our country via the welcome.us mass border invasion, and still have not been prosecuted for treason. And this is pretty graphic, but I'm not going to show it. It's all the people on the ground. They're working on them and stuff, but I will share the link in the chat for anybody who wants to see it. And I did set it to where the chat would be replayable when someone rewatches the show, because I'm trying to learn that stuff. I had no idea how it worked. So I had to Google it over and over again to watch videos to learn. But I'm going to put this in the chat really quick because I don't really want to play this video. It's pretty gruesome. But I wanted to share with you this person's point of view, because they're blaming everybody basically because this is happening, and they're not getting them out fast enough, getting these people that hate our country. But guess what? There's a lot of people that live here that hate our country that were born here. Okay. So we all need to be aware of our surroundings and listen to what people say and how they treat you. I'm telling you, I get hate all the time. I get told that people want to cut me up, cut my throat, take me out somehow, not on the date either, bury me 6 feet under, things like that. I need to go to another planet, commit suicide. I mean, I've heard so much stuff. I mean, just, it's repulsive and sad. And I miss a teeny speck of a channel. I barely have, anything, but they hate me anyway, simply because I try to share facts with people and let you find out the facts and make up your own mind of who's trying to rape you, basically, of your freedom, which means the freedom to be able to go and live the life that you want. If you don't want to ever vote, you don't have to, but you should have the right to if you decide to, right? That's how I see it. And it should only be a person who is a citizen of this country. If you were born here and you've lived here 80 years and you never voted because you hate the government, you don't care about that, blah, 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 whatever your reason is, guess what? You're an American citizen. You have the right to feel that way. You have the right to never vote if you don't want to. But if you weren't born here and you come here and break the law coming here, to not fill out the paperwork, to not learn the Constitution and all those things, to becoming a citizen of our country, then you don't have the right to vote. And you shouldn't ever be able to vote for anyone in this country. You shouldn't get anything for free. When we have veterans that are homeless, that live under bridges and stuff and can't get medical care, that fought and hurt themselves for this country, they can't get it because you're taking it from them. That's how I see it. So I'm sorry, no one's going to get me to ever agree that illegal citizens should get anything other than deported back to wherever they came from, when I have a friend or anyone I even know that is homeless and is a veteran, or a homeless person that was born in this country. Sorry, they have priority. That's the way I see it. Try to go to any country and beg for stuff. Go. Let's see what happens. Go over the border in another country and say, oh, I'm hungry. Can you feed me? Where'd you come from? Where's your passport? See what I mean? I'm telling you, you don't just get to go into other countries and get free shit. Our countries, as far as I know, maybe London. I mean, maybe England. I don't know. They look like they're in bad shape right now anyways. But I shared that link in the chat for this thing. If you're interested and you want to see this person's point of view of why this person did what he did to all these people, you can watch that. Go to it and read all you want. Read the comments of the people that posted, that watched the video. But it is graphic. They don't hide anything on it, and I just don't feel like sharing that. I don't care if I say fuck you. I mean, shit like that. That's just words, and my channel is not for children. It says so right on the stuff, but there's no reason to see blood and all that stuff when we already know what's going on. See what I mean? So there's no reason to add to it. So I'm not going to, but if you want to see it, go for it. Copy it, go to that page and do whatever you want and enjoy, I guess, if that makes you happy. But let me see. I'm going to shut this now, and then I'm going to go to the next thing. It is sad, though. It really is that we have just so much bad stuff going on in our own country because so many people hate our country. They hate the fact that, I don't know why they hate it so much. I mean, really, they just haven't gotten to go see what it's like to live somewhere else where you have real bad stuff going on in the government. Here, at least you can get a meal. There's homeless places. There's lots of places to go and get some help if you want it. But I guess some people don't see it that way. I don't know. I don't understand. But okay, here is something that I found. I thought was very interesting. And I'm going to play it for everybody. Let me pause it. It says Obama funded a bunch of this stuff that's going on that they're saying when he was president, okay, a while back, that he sent money. He was behind these people. He supported them in different ways. I remember all those rumors that he sent pallets of cash on planes in the middle of the night, things like that. I never heard of such anybody ever doing that before I started hearing about this stuff. But I mean, I wasn't there, so I'm not in the middle of it. But if they have evidence of this being done, then yeah, they should definitely prosecute whoever did it, because that was your money and my money. If you went to work and you paid taxes and they took it out of your check, whether you wanted to or not, they took your money and they gave it to terrorists that want to come here and kill us. So I'm going to play this for you real quick and see what you think.
The United States and Iran are now settling a long-standing Iranian government claim against the United States government. Iran will be returned its own funds, including appropriate interest, but much less than the amount Iran sought. For the United States, this settlement could save us billions of dollars that could have been pursued by Iran, so there was no benefit to the United States in dragging this out.
Which is interesting, because you can't find, it's like pulling teeth to get anyone to give you any information about anything. It sure seems like it. And even back in when he was president, you couldn't get a straight answer from anyone. Everyone always does this like they do like a Broadway show for you. They do everything they can to not tell you the facts or tell you the truth. They skirt around every single issue. And I don't know why so many people just let them do it. You know, maybe that's one reason why I get so much hate, because I want, if I ask a question, I want a damn answer. They ask me a question. They expect me to give them an answer. What am I supposed to do? Say, no, I don't, you know, whatever the hell is that, you know, not give them anything. But, I don't know. A lot of people think Obama is, you know, numero uno when it comes to trying to destroy a country from the inside out. And his whole team was involved in getting that path going. You know, bring people over the border that hate us, and, you know, start training people to find the psychos and make sure that they're able to get weapons or whatever. Just like the whole thing with what was it called? When they send a bunch of guns to Mexico and then the guns come back over the border and kill agents and border patrol and all kinds of stuff with it. And it was a mess. I mean, it was a huge mess. Tons of stuff like that. I heard tons of stories. That was way before I was ever really, you know, involved in anything like this. But, you know, I hope to goodness that they get to the bottom of some of this stuff and find out, you know, who really was involved, you know, in all this stuff, in the fraud, and bringing in people that want to blow us up, basically, if you're an infidel. And you're an infidel if you don't bend down to Allah. I mean, period. That's the way it is. And guess what? They can put their hand on the Quran and you lie to me because I'm a infidel. They can lie to infidels, and it's supposedly in their religion is perfectly normal, but it's also perfectly normal in their religion to marry a 9-year-old kid. So, you know, I'm sorry, I don't agree with that at all. I'm a Christian, and I believe that you should be a certain age before you get married or forced to marry someone against your will, because you're a kid and you don't even know what that means. It's disgusting. I'm sorry. I have a hard time with that. But here's the next video I want to bring up. So let me pause it. I don't know why they start way before I even open them. Okay, it says Iranian leadership is moving their money out of Iran for Secretary Bissett. It says we can see we are seeing that the rats are fleeing the ship. So basically, they're talking about a lot of these rich people are leaving, and their country, I guess, is starting to collapse from within because of all the big tech people or whoever, the millionaires and stuff are there taking the money out of the banks and stuff like that. So let's listen to this and see what they have to say. Hold on.
Going to see to that. Yeah. And Rob, the other thing as Treasury, who carries out the sanctions, we can see is we are now seeing the rats fleeing the ship, because we can see millions, tens of millions of dollars being wired out of the country, snuck out of the country by the Iranian leadership. Mm-hmm. So they are abandoning ship, and we are seeing it come into banks and financial institutions all over the world. And what we do at Treasury is we follow the money, whether it is through the typical banking system or through digital assets. We are going to trace these assets, and they will not be able to keep them.
You'll freeze those.
Going to see to that.
So they're trying to track it, but they're saying that these people are fleeing and taking the money because they don't want to be there, I guess, when all the shit hits the fan or whatever. I don't know. I don't know enough about it. And plus, I really don't know a lot about the financial stuff like that. That's why I go to, I got a friend on X who does spaces, and he talks a lot about finances and stuff. So I usually go and, you know, listen to him and to learn things like that about what's going on with the finances or whatever, or what could be coming down the you know, the pipeline because of it. But, you know, all of this stuff interconnects. When a government collapses, if we have any ties with that government, and we have money invested into it, which we have money invested in every country, because we're the only country in the world that sends money to everybody, but besides take care of our people. Just think about it. If we took all that money back and we spent it on helping the homeless, helping people get better jobs, things like that, how much better off our whole country would be with this trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars that we just spend on everyone else but ourselves. It's disgusting. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to fix this problem besides arresting people that have broke the law. I mean, to me, that is this, it's like a no-brainer, put people in jail that have stole from the taxpayers, period. Because if we have to keep working, their ass should be in jail, and they should have to work their ass off and pay us back. That's how I see it. I think that's perfectly fair. They do it to me. If I stole from somebody, they'd put my ass in jail, make me make license plates or whatever. So why they're treated it different, I don't know. It is bullshit, and I'm sick of that crap. But, I can't do anything about it except for voice my opinion, and that's why I'm doing it. So if you don't want to hear it, you better just turn the channel, because I can't help it. That's what I'm doing. But I'm going to stop sharing that and then bring up the next thing, because a lot of this stuff does interconnect, because it does affect us in the long run, no matter, who starts what or who's doing what. If we don't stop it or help it along so it gets finished quickly and not dragged out, that's a lot of the reasons why we end up in so many of these big stinking messes, is because we drag it out instead of just going, okay, we're going to fix this, or we're going to do that. Just like you would in a real business. But I'm going to play this. This is from Operation Epic Fury. It's like a little under a minute long. Here we go.
As of this morning, U.S. Central Command is making steady progress. Iran's theater ballistic missile shots fired are down 86% from the first day of fighting, with a 23% decrease just in the last 24 hours. And their one-way attack drone shots are down 73% from the opening days. This progress has allowed CENTCOM to establish localized air superiority across the southern flank of the Iranian coast and penetrate their defenses with overwhelming precision and firepower. We will now begin to expand inland, striking progressively deeper into Iranian territory and creating additional freedom of maneuver for U.S. forces.
So that just gives you an update. Remember, I only do the show once a week, so I have stuff that you might have already heard, but a lot of people might not have heard about it. But he's giving an update on them being able to get farther and farther in, simply because they have basically almost completely cut off their fighting back. So, which is good, because that means they can get in there and start cleaning house quicker. You know what I mean? But I want to share, I made 2 different videos today. I'm getting a little better at that, but I want to share these 2 videos with you that I thought were pretty interesting. First, about when they went in and got rid of the Ayatollah and how they did it. So I'm going to play this for you first.
This is how the United States and Israel killed Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Khamenei in his house. U.S. and Israeli intelligence had spent weeks gathering information about Khamenei's movements. They learned he was holding a high-level meeting with his top aides inside a secure compound, a place where many of Iran's most senior officials worked and took shelter. When the moment came, Israeli jets flew into Iranian airspace and dropped dozens of precision bombs on the compound. Satellite images and military sources later indicated that nearly 30 bombs struck structures linked to Khamenei's offices and meeting rooms, destroying the building where he was located and killing him along with other top leaders. The attacks were highly coordinated. Israeli aircraft, supported by U.S. intelligence and long-range strike capabilities, hit the right targets very quickly, surprising Iran's defenses. Because Iran's air defense system had already been degraded earlier in the campaign, it could not stop the jets or the incoming bombs effectively.
So that's how they were able to go in and take care of it so quickly. And that takes a lot of planning. That takes a lot of work. And I'm proud of our military for helping assist this and have it go so well. We've had so many of those little things that have been able to take out narco-terrorists and all kinds of stuff and do it so quickly. And then I made this other one that this other little video to play on here for the confirmation that he was actually dead.
We have just received confirmation from Iranian state TV that the supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, is indeed dead. You might remember a few hours earlier that President Trump had put his post on Truth Social saying that the supreme leader had died in the operation, the military operation led by the U.S. and Israel. In fact, a bit earlier in the day, Israeli leaders had said they had seen photo confirmation of the supreme leader's death. Now we have it confirmed from Iranian state TV. The Ayatollah was the supreme leader of Iran since 1989. He was one of the longest serving heads of state in the world. So this confirmation, of course, from state TV in Iran, very significant. There is often a lot of focus, of course, in the West on the Iranian president, but it really is the supreme leader who pulls the strings. He was an extremely dominant figure in Iran, dominating every public space. He was only the second supreme leader in Iran since the Islamic Revolution in 1970.
So basically, we have been anyone who works with that country or, does trade with them or whatever has been trading with someone who's basically just stepped in and took over, from someone else that was legitimate. So basically, they were never legitimate because they went in and pushed the other person out of the way. They didn't elect the person or anything like that. It just was, he just took over, and he's been able to get away with it all this time. So it's shocking. It took somebody with some balls to actually say, okay, we're going to sit down, we're going to do this and do it. I don't know. I don't understand, how come people don't fight for what they believe in? It's just sad to me. But I want to share something I found from Jesse, which I really like. I like his perspective and the way he handles things. But I really like this, and I want to share this video with you. So I'm going to make it bigger and push play.
So when I saw the news we were going to war, I kind of had an uneasy feeling in the pit of my stomach. This is a very ambitious operation. It's unpredictable. It's extremely dangerous, but I have to just trust the commander-in-chief. He has an excellent track record with foreign policy. And so far, the operation has been incredible. And our military is far, far superior. You're exactly right. The Ayatollah should have taken the deal after Midnight Hammer. Instead, he was playing cat and mouse with enrichment. And as they say in golf, Donald Trump did not come here to lay up. He inherited a mess, and he saw a window of opportunity. He set a deadline, and he took action. And hopefully he's successful. And if he is, Americans for generations will benefit. So who takes power now in Iran? I have no idea. Is it a hardliner? Is it someone like the number 2 in Venezuela that we can do business with, or are the people going to rise up? It's hard when you don't have any weapons and you live in a police state. So Trump will try to shape what happens on the ground from the carriers, and I'm sure the CIA is going to be passing a lot of cash around. How does this affect the American people? Well, the market opened lower, and then it snapped back and closed about flat. Oil prices are up, gas prices at the pump, they're going to jump, and mortgage rates are already ticking up. So in the short term, you're going to see a little inflation. But if it's a successful operation, prices are going to go way, way down, and the stock market is going to rip. Russia's not going to have a supply of drones that they're using to just decimate Ukraine, so that's going to push them towards peace. And the Chinese aren't going to be able to suck up all that cheap sanctioned Iranian oil, and we'll have full control over the oil-rich Middle East, and then we can pivot to the Pacific and stare down Beijing. But until then, you just pray for the boys, you pray for the president, and hope everything goes well.
Yeah, 100%. We need to just pray a lot. Pray that the people of Iran realize the opportunity they have and grab it and start working with the right people to level the playing field of their country back to what they say they wanted. I've heard people that have been able to get out say, oh, I wish we could do this. I wish we could do that. All the people in the United States of America that escaped from Iran and that have relatives over there need to say, okay, it's time to go back and fix our country. Start making plans. What would you do differently if you could go there now that you've got a good education and things like that from America? Go back and use that education to restructure your country, things like that. That's what you guys should be thinking about. And the good thing is when you go back and do this, you know that you have America wanting to help you. You're in a good position for that. So do it. Go there. Let the people take back their country and start selling the oil and share it amongst the people. Let the money from the oil sales or whatever other industries that they had there, which they had to have something because they were able to run their country all this time with this guy in charge or the new guy, whoever is in there now. They need to fight back and take their country back and make it fair for everyone, as best they can, and make some changes, and have the educated ones that are here that have learned about laws. I'm sure some of them are doctors or whatever they have learned, take it back to their country and help train new people in their country so that they can have a better country for themselves and for their ancestors that are going to be coming years later. What do you want them to have when they grow up? That's what they should be looking at, I think. And they have right now prime opportunity that many countries never get. Just think about it. A new beginning. We did it in America. That's how we got America. We escaped what we believed was not what we wanted our families and our generations down the line to have to live under. And when we had the opportunity, we took it. And look how powerful America's become compared because of freedom. See, I really do believe that in my soul. I believe that the reason America is where we are today and so powerful with so many different points of view, so many different states. They're almost like individual little countries because we have our own constitution, but we have so many differences in each state. And we still have them. We have different accents, everything. And why do we still have that? Because we have freedom. That's why. And everyone that fights to come here, but comes here to get a job or start a business or do things like that to better themselves because they got away from where they were trapped. Those people want the same thing as you and I, and they've raised their new families here. But the people that are just walking in expecting handouts and freebies and are criminals and just taking advantage of everyone around them, they don't want the same thing as the people that came here and fought to become Americans because they believed in what the Statue of Liberty stands for, those type of things. We want you here because you're just like our ancestors that came here. They saw the beacon of freedom and wanted it. They didn't just come here because they want someone else to give them everything. Okay. That's how I see it differently as a military brat myself. And I just want to see her bask in glory. And we deserve that. America deserves that. And our veterans deserve to be treated with respect because we are free because of them. And I 100% believe that myself. All right, let me go to the next one. I told you it was a lot of these things when they're all about different things, but they're all about basically us. So hold on, let me push this and pause it again. Okay, I think everyone remembers Bill O'Reilly. I remember when I was young, listening to my mom listen to Bill O'Reilly on TV. I don't remember the name of the show or anything like that, but my mom thought he was really smart, but he's talking about something about Barack Obama, who gave Iran over $1 billion American tax dollars, but Joe Biden and Kamala Harris handed over $16 billion to Iran. Where did they get that money? How did they just take that money and give it to another country? That's another problem we have with American citizen not even knowing the people that we voted for is taking our money that should be helping our homeless, our elderly, our veterans, our schools, our, I can go on and on and on. That's what the money should be being spent. Why are they taking it to a country that wants to kill all of us? It doesn't make any sense. And I think we should get to the bottom of it. And so this doesn't happen anymore. This doesn't happen to our kids, our grandchildren, and their grandchildren, way down the line, because a lot of this stuff may not be affecting us before we die. But what about our grandkids and our great grandkids? How is these choices going to affect them? And that's what we should be fighting for, the future of our country, the future of our own children. So I'm going to play this for you. It's a minute long. Here we go.
As the Biden administration released billions of dollars to Iran that were frozen, money that was frozen because of sanctions, Biden released the money, gave it to the mullahs, and the mullahs turned around and financed Hezbollah, Hamas, October 7th, the Houthis, and whatever other terror groups they could fund. That's what happened in the Biden-Harris administration. She's never, ever answered for that. Won't, can't. I don't even know if she knows it. I don't have much regard for Kamala Harris's intellect. But now she's condemning it. Okay. So you, lady, I'm sorry to be disrespectful, were vice president when an American administration for 4 years empowered mullahs in Iran to kill people, including Americans. That's what you did, and said nothing. You said nothing.
And the reason they say nothing is just like what I talked about earlier. It doesn't affect them. It wasn't their loved one. It was yours or theirs or theirs. So they don't give a shit about other people. They only care about themselves. And that sounds like we've got way too many narcissists in government that say me, 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 me. And that's all they care about. As long as it doesn't affect them, or they don't think it's going to affect their future, or it's going to give them another mansion, and more money in the bank, they don't give a shit. They could care less. We have to care enough to want the future of our children and their children's children a safe place to be and a place to live where they can live with other people that want to kill them, or force them into a religion against their will. It was pretty shitty when we were forced to get a jab against our will or lose your job. Just imagine being forced into a religion where every time you give birth to a daughter, when she's 9 years old, she's going to be handed to somebody. Just think about that. Or your granddaughters or your great granddaughters all being handed to people. They don't even know who they are. And they're 9 years old. Oh, it's disgusting. Let's see. I think it's this one. No, let me turn that one off. Oh, I see something. Thank you very much, Bruce. You didn't have to do that. So I don't know how to find out who's going to get it. I don't remember how to click on it. But I have no idea how that works. But thank you. I really appreciate it. Somebody is going to be getting a membership to my channel, thanks to Bruce. It says 5 memberships. I appreciate that. But I don't know who the 5 people are. Look at my phone. Okay. Hold on. Okay. I'm looking at my phone. And do I look on YouTube? I'm sorry. I suck at this shit. Or your messages or on YouTube. Look on my YouTube. Okay. Oh, on my YouTube that's showing or my YouTube studio. Oh, hold on. He's calling me. Let me get the phone. Hello? Okay. Oh, okay. They turn green, right? Okay. Thank you. Sorry, guys. I'm learning. I don't know that much about it. All right. It says on here, from what I can see, Brett, you're going to get a membership. It says Ghost Boo. I don't know who that is, but you're getting a membership thanks to Bruce. Joe's Atmosphere, you get a 1-month membership. Deranged Lunatic, you're going to get a gift membership from Bruce. And Iron Oxide 3 is going to get a membership. Sorry, on where I'm at to do the show doesn't show that stuff. It is show that he gave a gift of 5 memberships, but it doesn't tell me who it is. And I don't open my YouTube. I do have it on my phone, but I wasn't thinking about looking at that. But thank you, Bruce. I really appreciate it. You're awesome. I'm sorry that I'm so stupid, don't understand how this stuff works, but I am trying to learn. But I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Bruce. You didn't have to do that, but thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm going to stop sharing this and go back to the next thing that I have on my list here. Hold on. Share my screen. And it's Johnny Midnight. Let's see what this one is real quick, because I can't see anything. It turned blue. So let me push pause. All right. All right. This is something from the Fox News, and Johnny Midnight shared it on his timeline and on X. So I'm going to share this really quick because it was something to do with
Breaking tonight, a Fox News exclusive. We have new information that appears to directly contradict the Biden administration's insistence it had nothing to do with the Justice Department investigations into then former President Trump's alleged retention of classified material and the subsequent raid on his Mar-a-Lago home. Correspondent David Spunt has details tonight. Good evening, David.
Brett, good evening to you. These emails obtained by Fox News paint a different picture of the relationship between the Biden White House and the Biden Justice Department. These two offices made it clear at the time, at least publicly, they were not connected and stayed away from any political interference. However, new emails obtained by Fox News from May 2022, 3 months before Mar-a-Lago was raided by the FBI, illustrates coordination between the White House counsel's office and the DOJ regarding an interview of Walt Nauta. Now, remember, Walt Nauta is a current White House aide to President Trump, who was then former President Trump's aide in Florida. Nauta was later charged alongside Trump by special counsel Jack Smith. The May 10th, 2022 email reads in part, coordination with DOJ and White House counsel are in work to start the process to confirm and interview current administration employee Walt Nauta. This event is dependent upon the timeline of President Biden's brief decision and coordination between White House counsel and DOJ, and in turn, Evan Corcoran's position on the override of privilege assertion and whether or not he seeks an injunction to prevent access. That was written by an FBI agent, and Evan Corcoran, of course, one of Trump's lawyers at the time. This coming August, Brett, will mark 4 years since FBI agents raided Mar-a-Lago. A few days after that, then Attorney General Merrick Garland said this.
I personally approved the decision to seek a search warrant in this matter. Second, the department does not take such a decision lightly.
And we're getting new reaction to these emails. Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan in the House says in part, it's always worse than we thought. These newly released documents confirm that the Biden DOJ's raid on Mar-a-Lago was politically motivated. We're also hearing from Attorney General Pam Bondi. AG Bondi says the more we learn about the DOJ weaponization under the prior administration, the worse the story gets. And Brett, she says this right here. It's a key part. She says we will continue disclosing key evidence to our congressional partners to deliver the truth and bring those who committed crimes to justice. That's coming from the Attorney General tonight. Brett.
Wow, that's pretty interesting. But we already knew that. Most of us already realized that and knew that that was, the whole thing was bullshit, you know, especially when they went through the first lady's underwear drawer and shit, you know what I mean? So we knew it was bull crap. Every single thing they did with Biden's auto pin crap, he couldn't even have a coherent sentence, you know. It looked like he was constantly wearing an oxygen mask when he wasn't in front of the camera. He had bruises all over his hands and his arms from all the IVs they were using to keep him looking like he was alive. You know, the whole thing was disgusting, and it was embarrassing. And I can't wait till they get to the bottom to prove that, you know, basically that it was a facade. The whole thing was set up and it was faked. But this thing I found, I thought was very, very interesting. It says Pakistani man, this is from Gunther Eagleman on X, on trial in Brooklyn, okay, admits Iran recruited him to assassinate President Trump at a rally. He testified Iranian leaders gave him a sketch of a rally site, told him to hire hitmen, and even paid undercover FBI agents thousands, thinking they were killers, all while writing plans on a hotel napkin. He was arrested just before the Butler shooting and said Iran was behind that too, seeking revenge. Wow. Do you think that any of that has anything to do with some of the dumbasses and the dumb things they did? Like letting a guy walk around on the roof with a gun when people are yelling, there's a guy with a gun, there's a guy with a gun, and nobody does anything. Secret Service just kind of goes, no big deal, who cares? And nothing happened. And we saw, golly, it was Kash Patel. He wasn't in his position yet, but we saw him, and we saw Dan Bongino, because he went there. Dan Bongino went there to testify about how stupid and the flaws that was going on during the whole thing with the Secret Service. I remember that because it was like, I don't remember, it was some kind of special hearing that they brought in. Then there was a sniper guy that ran for Congress or whatever. He was there and he testified. It's a bunch of people, and I can't remember exactly, but it was on one of my shows because I shared it. I'd have to go dig and find it. But it was all bullshit. I mean, we could tell by the way that everything was done that they were wanting him to die, and it was a miracle in itself that he just got clipped on the ear. Honestly, it was God's intervention, and it was a shame that gentleman died trying to save his wife and daughter. You know, stuff like that. It was just, it's disgusting. And I would love to see whoever was involved in any of this to all go to prison, every one of them. And let's see how they like being in prison. And I'm not talking about a cushy one where they get to have conjugal visits and get online and have facials and shit like that. I want them to be in there breaking rocks and shit, you know, like you and I would get. That's what I would like to see. That would make me happy. Not much, doesn't take much to make me happy, but I could sit and eat popcorn and watch him every day on a camera, and I'd pay to see it. I really would. I did get an extra job just to have money to pay and watch these people break rocks after all the shit that they've been doing.
In the federal trial of a Pakistani man, prosecutors accuse him of plotting to assassinate American political leaders, including President Trump. He says Iran was behind it all. Alexis McAdams is outside the Brooklyn Federal Courthouse in New York City. Alexis.
Hi, Harris. Yeah, an interesting case that really not a lot of viewers knew about when it happened in 2024 because President Trump was out on the campaign trail and there was so much going on and so many other threats. But that's when police say Asif Merchant came here from Pakistan because he says Iranian leadership told him to, said hunt down President Trump, hire a couple of guys that can take him out at a political rally. So take a look here on your screen. This is who we're talking about. He's sitting there inside of that Brooklyn Federal Courthouse right now as those closing arguments are underway. 47 years old. He's facing federal terrorism terrorism charges and could spend the rest of his life behind bars. Merchant testified Harris in his own federal trial, and he explained this, making this drawing again that he said Iranian leaders gave him back in 2024. Really doesn't look like there's much to it. It looks like, like a kid drew it or something, but that's the sketch of a rally site. Merchant was arrested just one day before Trump was shot in Butler, Pennsylvania, and later told the feds that he believed Iran was behind that attack because it was so similar to the plan that they gave him. Kind of get up in an elevated place, go to a rally, and create all this chaos so the gunman can get away. Merchant says Iran wants revenge for the killing of their top military leader, Qasem Soleimani. And threats continue as the U.S. just bombed Iran and took out its Ayatollah. So we're expecting even more threats here, possibly on the homeland, according to the feds. Back out here live in Brooklyn, prosecutors say the evidence, Harris, is pretty damning in this case. They say he actually paid two FBI agents thousands of dollars in cash, telling them to take out President Trump because he thought they were hitmen. And then also a lot of other things, including writing the entire thing down on a hotel napkin. So,
wow, that is amazing. But the thing is, we all knew. I mean, I don't know of a single person that I've talked to in person that didn't think that was a setup, that the CIA and other people were involved to try to get Trump killed. And the one thing that made me the most suspicious out of all of it was the fact that CNN and another news company that never aired rallies ever, guess what, had front row seats, camera zoomed right in on him, hoping to see his head explode probably and have it on national television. That's the only reason why they would be there, because they knew somebody was supposed to kill him. To me, that's common sense, because when you have all these rallies that are packed with people, so many people, they can't even get them all in. And then they had this little tiny one in Butler, New York, and their gaps are wide open. And they got Secret Service guarding him that come up to here on him and shit. I mean, it was ridiculous. I was watching, I was like, what the fuck is this shit? This is bullshit. They're trying to get him killed. None of this makes any sense. It was ridiculously stupid, and it was a miracle, honestly, a real miracle that he didn't die that day. And it's a shame that other people had to die. It's disgusting. These people are disgusting. They are scum. These are scum. These are the same scummy people that voted 300-something people to 65 to keep the names hidden of all the people that are passing out money and non-disclosures, because they don't want to give out the names of all the people that are grab ass in Congress. You know, when they grab a woman and pull her down on his lap, or grab her by the boobs, or put their hand on her crotch, or pull down on her skirt and shit like that, or say, whoo-hoo, I would like to pump that one night, and shit, just nasty shit like that. And you have all them young aides or whoever there, and they're paid off with money that you and I earn in our paycheck, and they take and they put it in a slush fund for these scumbags. And these are the same people that were bitching, we want to see who's on the Epstein files. Same people, same exact people that are saying no. They're voted no to release those names. So I can't wait. I can't wait to hear them this next week start doing the whole Epstein bullshit again, when those names are hidden from everyone else, because that's what they should be throwing in their face every time. The 65 that voted to release everything are the only ones that are in there that are not corrupt. And those are the only ones that should get reelected. But I wanted to say thank you so much to Joe. You're such a sweetheart to give me $1.99 super chat. For me doing a solo show, I have to right now. I just have a really hard time finding people that are well or not busy with life or whatever to want to sit and bitch and moan about what kind of shitty crap is going on for the shit show. But thank you so much. That is so sweet of you. I really appreciate it. Now, don't I haven't got my soundboard reset up again, so I could put some funny sounds on it or whatever for people who do things like this for me. But one thing I would like to know, anyone who did get a membership, when you use the chat in the thing, it should give you a couple of, I guess they're called emojis that I made myself from photographs of me from my phone. I made them. So let me know if they work or not. You know, whenever you guys get a chance to try it out, you should get them. At least that's what they said from what I've experienced so far. And I'm trying to learn all of it. It's really hard. And poor Bruce has to listen to me bitch and phone about it because I'm trying to figure it out. I'm doing the best I can. And I don't have a clue what I'm doing, but I want to keep doing it because this is my social life. This is what I do on the weekends. And this is my friends. You guys are all my friends and I hang out with you and stuff. But I really appreciate all of you because you guys, without your support, I don't even know what I would be doing. I'd still be just making stupid TikTok videos, you know, which was fun. Also, I'm not saying they weren't. But I had a video earlier and I don't know what happened to it. I've been looking for it and I can't find it. Of a young girl. She's like 9 or 10 years old. That's what she looks like to me. And she's huge pregnant. And she's standing with her very older husband in a market. And that's coming for us, people. If we don't fight for our states and take our country back and outlaw like what they're trying to do right now in Texas, which is terrible, to have all that stuff on a ballot to try to outlaw Sharia law and to take your state back from all of the Muslims that have moved in and that think you're an infidel. They want to kill you, kill your dogs because dogs are disgusting and they don't want you to be able to buy pork. You can't have pork chops or bacon or any of that anymore, pork roast, because they don't agree. They're going to start pushing. They're already doing it in New York. They're already playing the call to prayer 5 times a day, doing all that. And they handed it to these people. They willingly handed their whole city over to these people to take over. Dearborn, Michigan's already gone. And Minnesota's pretty much half gone. So that's 3 states right there that I know of that have already had a huge chunks taken out of them because of this. And then you just had a guy get a gun out and start blowing people away while he's wearing a shirt that says property of Allah. I can tell you right now, women like me, when they come to my state and they tell me that I have to bow down and be a handmaiden or whatever to these scumbags, or say I'm going to be their cook or whatever it is, that I have to wear a head to toe garb, guess what? They're going to slit my throat. They're going to kill me because I am not going to bend down to these people. And if you want to, that's your choice. But I'm not going to. And there's many other women like me and young women that are going to say no. They're not going to do it. And I'm not putting my daughters in that. I'll die before I hand my daughters over to these people and your sons. Because believe me, the boys are for fun. And if you think that they don't, if they like goats, believe me, they're like kids. So it's sickening and sad, but that's my point of view. And I have a right to say my point of view. But if you guys don't see it coming, there's nothing I can do for you. There really isn't. All you got to do is Google any of your states, anyone in here, Google your state, see how many of those mosques have been built in your state. And guess what? Even in your airports, I bet all your big airports have little prayer rooms in them. And guess what? If you go in there and you really look at it, there is a prayer room for the men and a prayer room for the women, because women aren't allowed to pray with the men. There's certain places in Mecca that women can't even go because they're unclean, because we have our monthlies, that kind of stuff. And if we don't cover ourselves head to toe, and some guy sees my wrist, a slit of my skin, and he decides that he's going to rape me because of that, I have to have 5 witnesses that will testify that he raped me, because I'm just a piece of meat now. So if you love your wife or your sisters or your parents or your mother or your grandkids or your granddaughters and your grandsons, you need to fight for them so that this doesn't come and take over our country, because that's what's coming for you. I hate to say it. All you got to do is go look at some of these countries and see how these people live. Women are pieces of meat. They don't have rights. They can't go to school. They can't have a job. They can't drive. They have to cover themselves head to toe, not because they believe that because they're hiding them from God, basically, because they don't want a man to see what one of these women look like, because it makes them want to rape them, because they believe that. Look at what's going on in England. A woman and a young girl be walking down the road and they get raped in the middle of the street, because they have the right to do that in their countries. They can. Any woman that's unaccompanied is a slut and a whore. She deserves it. Doesn't matter if you're 5 years old. They don't care. And then they'll kill your dog. They'll stab your dog to death if you're walking a dog on a leash. They hate dogs. So the only thing I can tell you to do is go buy a buttload of bacon and cook it, and then make coats out of it. Start wearing bacon everywhere you go. Make necklaces, jewelry, head scarves, whatever you can out of bacon, and wear it everywhere. Wear it on the streets, wherever you go, where you hear the prayer calls. If I heard prayer calls, I would get my boombox and I'd go out and I'd find every hymn that I can find that I love that gets other people to sing along and play it wherever they're at, because they build billion-dollar mosques, yet they're going to lay in the streets and pray 5 times a day. Why aren't they in their own mosque? See, that's another thing I want you guys to notice. They do it because they can. How many people do you know that just go out and lay blankets out and start praying in the middle of the road and stop traffic and stuff in any other religion? Think about it. They don't. They do it because they can. And they know they can, because we do nothing. We just stand around and go, oh, well. Oh, well. And guess what? They're just spelled more and more and more. Next thing you know, remember, one guy comes and he has 5 women. He doesn't have to be married to them, but he's married to them in their way or whatever. And we give them all free place to live because all the women are pregnant. Now they each have a baby. Boop, 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 boop. And then she's pregnant again, another year. Boop, 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 boop. So in 10 years, she's got 10 kids. And guess what? They're going to go to our schools, and we're paying for it. We're paying them to invade our countries and take over our culture. That's what we're doing. I just wish people understood what's happening right in front of us, and we're just idly sitting by and letting it happen. We're not doing anything about it. At least I have a governor that when she found out that China was trying to buy all the farmland that they possibly could get their hands on, she said, hell no, you're not. She stopped any sale in the state of Arkansas to any Chinese companies. So now they can't buy it, which is, a start, because we have a governor that actually gives a shit about our country, our state, and the people that are in that state. And that's what you guys need. If you don't have that in your state and they're just selling you bit by bit, piece by piece, acre by acre to another country that wants to transform this country into something it's never was meant to be, freedom of religion, which means the religion can't be the government. I can't run for office and force my religion on everyone around me just because I'm in an office of the government. But that's what they do. That's what they do. All you got to do is look what just happened to Iran. Go to Iran and see the difference from Iran before and then after. Before they were taken over, when women could go to college, women could have jobs, because a man that started the whole religion wanted a 9-year-old girl, so he made it a prophecy that he had to marry this girl at 9, and he did. And then he got more and more men to follow behind him, and they all got little girls as wives, so they started accepting it. It's okay. Women are just pieces of meat. They're not good for anything besides cooking and giving birth. That's why they cut their genitals up so that they can enjoy sex because they don't want you to cheat on them. You know, they can sleep with goats and little boys and do whatever they want because they're men. A woman has to stay in the kitchen and not look me in the eye and do what I'm told. See, that's how they look at women. And if you want that religion to come and take over your state, then you need to go there and live. Don't ruin our country because you want that. You want women to be treated that way. I hope I hope nobody I care about ever ends up in that type of relationship. None of my girlfriends ever end up in a relationship where they're just a piece of meat. It's bad enough when we have a man that beats their wives to where they can barely walk while they're pregnant or in front of their children and their eyes are swelled shut and they're covered with bruises and they can't go grocery shopping and stuff. And he goes and he buys her stuff. I'm sorry, but you said the wrong thing and it just made me snap. It's all her fault. She's a dumb bitch and deserves to be beat, right? That's what these people do. And if we don't fight back and fight for the women and fight for the children, what kind of country are we going to have? We might as well go back to the Stone Age where you see a woman walking around picking berries for her kids and you just take a club and hit her over the head and drag her into your cave. Is that where we're going back to? Are we going back in time or are we going forward? And I'm not a women's libber. I don't believe in DEI hires and shit. But I believe a woman has rights and she should be able to fall in love and get married to whoever she wants and be side by side with her man. They work together in life. That's what you're supposed to have. Not someone who has to walk 10 feet behind you and it's not allowed to ever touch the Quran with their old bare hand. When a husband and wife can sit down and read the Bible together and they can both touch the pages and they can both read the prayers. That's a real relationship. That's how I see it because I am a Christian. I wish more people were, but I don't force my religion on other people. I hardly ever talk about it. You know why? Because that's between you and God. And that has nothing to do with me. And I can't force you to believe in something if you don't want to, because it's not my right to force anyone to make a decision on any of those things. I do this because I want to show you facts like this thing that we just watched. And then you make a decision from the facts. And if you don't want to do it, you don't have to. I'm not mad because you don't want to do it. If you don't want to watch me or listen to me, you can just change the channel and go to the next channel. I don't have a problem with it. Guess what? I'm still going to get up tomorrow. Still going to cook my breakfast. I'm still going to get dressed, take a shower, go to work, whatever, because that's my life. My real life isn't this. This is what I do on the side, basically. This is my, like I said, my social life. And I've met some wonderful people and I just love doing this. And if it hadn't been for Bruce and his wife at the time, Yvonne, inviting me to come on his show and then we started doing the Girl and Guy in a Movie, I probably never would have done any of this stuff. But I love doing it. And I love this country. I love being free and being able to do this, have the opportunity to do this and have the opportunity to get online and read anything I want. If I want to watch porn, I can do that because I live in America. I have the right to do that. It's nobody's business what I do. As long as I don't use it to hurt other people, they don't care. And that's what's great about this country. And I want to keep our country. I want to keep America free. But the only way to do that is for all of us to get off our ass, go to the polls, go to city council meetings, go to school meetings with teachers, do the things that we need to do to keep our community safe and our states free from federal overreach, period. Because we have a constitution. Every one of our states do. Please stand up and fight for your communities. Good sheriffs, good police officers, good mayors, good county clerks. I mean, there's so many different jobs that we have to vote the people in and try to get to know somebody. Read, ask questions, make phone calls. Send emails, get information any way that you know how, and then share it with other people. If you find out bad stuff about somebody, that they raped their wives or beat their wives or, stole from their bank or whatever it is that they don't do or they did do, tell other people so other people can make informed decisions instead of just saying, well, it's not my problem, it's not my place. It is, because choices that people make in your state because they made an uninformed decision and they get stuck with somebody for 4 years, there's a lot of changes going to happen. Look how much happened to our country under Biden, the auto pin president. We got a lot of shit we're going to have to dig through to find out what's real and what isn't, simply because a lot of us didn't go to the polls. A lot of us didn't fight for the truth. And almost all of mine goes on Pence, because all Pence had to do was listen to the people that were standing right in front of him, showing him fraud and cheating in their states. And all they said was, please send these electoral college votes back to our state and let us get this straightened out. Then when we get it straightened out, we'll be able to send our true votes for president. But he wouldn't do his job. The one job he had as vice president, he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't listen to the people that were showing him evidence that there was cheating. He wouldn't do it. We wouldn't be in any of this mess. But now we have to pay the consequences. So get off your ass, learn what's going on in your state, and go vote. Make a difference, and make a difference for our future, for freedom. But I want to say thank you to everyone who hung out with me tonight. And I really, really appreciate the super chat and Joe from Joe's Atmosphere. And I really do appreciate Bruce for the 5 memberships. I really appreciate you both very much. And I appreciate all my loyal subscribers that have tried to come and support me in the dumbest stuff that I've done, from dressing up as a man or building Legos or whatever it is that I decide to do. You guys are wonderful. And I really am thankful that I have such great people like you guys in my life. Hope you guys have a wonderful evening. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. Talk to you later.
If you voted for Donald Trump, that means that you stand for everything that is going on in our country right now. That you stand for all these tariffs. That you stand for this mass deportation. That you stand for getting men out of women's sports. I mean, the list goes on and on. You actually stand for this. If you voted for Trump, you actually stand for this. And if you voted for Trump, I just want to say that I love you and thank you so much for saving this country. Have a blessed day.